Hi, my name is Ru from Boxever, and today we're going to talk about the journey to personalization. When we talk to customers, one of the most common questions we get asked is, how do I get to one-to-one personalization? What is the journey to get there? And how do I understand where I'm at right now? To help explain this, I'm going to use a very simple diagram. On the x-axis, you'll see capability, either business or technological, that enables me to deploy a capability to do personalization. And on the y-axis, customer value. What is the value that I elicit from the capability that I've deployed? There are 4 individual points along this curve to help us understand where exactly you are. Mass segmentation, macro segmentation, micro, and one-to-one. Let's have a look at some of these points in a little bit more detail to help you understand the traits that you might see at each of these stages. The first point on the curve is mass segmentation. Here we're looking at not a huge amount of segments, but a lot of people in each segment. Normally these segments are built on simple variables: language, country, region, and depending on how your business is set up, possibly product categories. It's a core step to personalization and is typical in outbound communications, or if I have no real optimization capabilities on my website, this is where I normally start off. The second point on the curve is macro segmentation. Here I have one core goal to understand: who is this customer? Oftentimes, typical segments here will be something like life cycle segmentation, lifestyle stage segmentation, or some kind of recency, frequency, or monetary segmentations. Normally there's no more than 20 segmentations at this point, and we're really looking for no more than 20 unique buckets of people. This really helps us from an outbound marketing point of view, is typical for email campaigns, and is also typical for very basic web optimization. The third point is micro-segmentation. Here we really start to harness the power of context and things like propensity scores. We may move from having 20 segments to somewhere in the region of 200. And what we're really trying to understand is make the value out of things like propensity to purchase or propensity to specific product categories. If I have someone who's logged in, I might want to use offline context and really understand their purchase history with my brand. Typically here, I'm also looking at batch classifications of guests. I can classify those guests into roughly 200 groups and then blend that with real-time context, which enables me to have a much richer sense of segmentation. The final point on the chart is one-to-one personalization. This is the ultimate goal. There's a little bit of a myth around one-to-one personalization. It is essentially micro-segmentation done exceptionally well. So what do I mean by this? So it might be that someone like Netflix uses my name when they're making a product recommendation. But when you think about it, how many people have exactly the same recommendation as me? I would argue at least 1, 2, maybe even 100 across the globe. So what we're essentially looking at is not one-to-one personalization, it is micro-segmentation done to the point where I perceive that I'm being treated in an individual fashion. And that's what one-to-one personalization really is. To be truly effective at working at this point, there are 2 other things you need to consider. One is, am I being omni-channel? Omni-channel is not multi-channel. Multi-channel is that as a brand, I can communicate with my customers on any channel that I choose. But that experience doesn't have to be connected. With omni-channel, what I'm really looking for is a consistent experience on any channel. The channel shouldn't matter to the individual. And here we're looking at context, and context is critical. The context from the micro-segmentation stage is important to understand because we want to bring the context from here, from one channel, and we want to move it into another channel and make it available. So for example, if I put down my phone and then pick up my tablet, I want that experience with that brand to be understanding that I was just on my phone, and also be able to offer me the personalized recommendations on those 2 devices seamlessly. And this brings us to the second trait of one-to-one personalization: real time. Real time is not batch, real time is not 24 hours. In Boxever, real time means less than 150 milliseconds. And that's the kind of speed you're going to need if you want to have a consistent connected experience. If I put down my phone and pick up my tablet, that information has got to be centralized and then brought up into context and made a decision on and operate and activated into any channel. Those are the really 2 traits that will allow you to exceed within one-to-one personalization. And if you look at some of the players who you think do one-to-one personalization exceptionally well, you'll really start to see those 2 traits come to the fore. Thanks for going through that video with me. If you have any other questions or you want to see more videos, we've got loads down below so you can check out what Boxever can do and how we might be able to help you.